Alright. Hi there, everybody. Let me know if I'm broadcasting and doing well on that. I'll be trying not to look stuff up very much, but I'll probably will just to ensure that you get the information you're looking for. I'm actually going to start... I don't know, what... computer savvy's fun. I'll do challenges later. Those unlock different items and things. It's not obviously a guaranteed thing, but you can tune in and check out what those unlock. Alright, so we have Isaac, we have Eden, and nobody else. My two favorites are, I don't really like Maggie. Cain has a little bit more, like, oomph to start. Eve is tricky, but she can be really good too, because if she has one or fewer red hearts, then she gets much more powerful. Samson slowly builds up damage as he gets hit. Azazel is difficult to master, but he can be pretty amazing because he starts off with Brimstone, which goes about a quarter of the length across the screen and does just unbelievable damage. Lazarus comes back to life once, and Eden is just this weird thing where you just kind of show up with some random stuff. So there's only one option, so it's gonna be Isaac, but yeah. Alright, so tips on the map. If you look at the map itself, and you see a room that has 3 potential entrances, like an empty space, I need a key for that. Then odds are that you can get to it with a bomb. So like the room above this, possibly. Wafer damage resistance reduces all damage to a half a heart, which can be really useful, particularly later on at the in the womb and stuff, where everything just hurts really, really badly. You can use it also for things like the blood donation machine and things like that to make those more worthwhile. Actually, it just occurred to me that I can take that and go open that chest that I was looking at before. It's also worthwhile though to save your keys for the treasure rooms. Like if you have only one key and you're having difficulty finding keys, maybe, you know, hold off on that. He will drop enemies as long as you're above him. But if you can make this particular boss do his charge move, he can actually be a lot easier. Of course, that requires getting him to do his charge move. So it's going to be that 3 formation, so wherever you are, be somewhere else. And I can't dodge for today. Sorry, cursing on the Binding of Isaac. I know that's bad form. Cube of meat, I believe? Yeah. And so that starts rotating around. There's some other items, including the ball of bandages, that will rotate around, and by picking up more of them, you can increase its size. So yeah. So on this floor, if you look at the map, you can see that there's 2 spaces. The room directly above this room, and the room, basically the room to the left and right of the starting room, which are likely to be treasure rooms. However, it's not really worth it to me at this point. Yes! Infamy is wonderful. This is a mask that blocks just the small red dots from hitting you from the front. So that can be really useful, especially for those of you who have seen like the Mom's Heart fights. Those get really intense, and as long as you're facing Mom's Heart, then you don't get hit by those. One of the other things that you can look for while you're trying to go is the devil rooms. The devil rooms are potential to be really, really bloody useful. So if you manage to unlock devil rooms, then you can sacrifice red hearts for various things. This is one of the enemies that chases you incessantly, but they do so in a somewhat circular manner. So if you just stay toward the outside of the room, then you're not going to get hit. Okay, nothing there. But yeah, there's various things that you can do to increase the likelihood of a devil's room showing up. If you bomb some of the innocent characters around, like if you bomb the... No, don't hit me. They don't listen very often. But yeah, if you bomb like a shopkeeper or something, then it will be like, wow, you're a horrible person. I bet you want to make a deal with the devil. These creatures, the spiders, have random movement unless they can reach you in one move. And at that point, they will follow you, try to track you down. And so that can be useful if you get just within range and then wait for them to come at you. Come at me, bro. Then, yeah, that can be useful. So that's a good amount of money. So I'll probably be picking that up soon. And yeah, a lot of the strategies are just to keep them at bay, keep them at a distance, and just fire backwards, strategically. So let me think. There's not really any particular use, or a particular angle that's better on that particular room. Bombing to get to the treasure chest. So let me try from here. And yeah, that was a nickel, was the oddly colored one in the middle. So, 5. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you can also use fire to your advantage. Land-based enemies will mostly get hurt by fire. And so that can be a very positive thing. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to open the treasure chest in this room, or the treasure room in this floor, unless, if you'll notice, the room directly above me now has 3 possible entrances, which means that it's a likely candidate for a secret room. And if that had happened, that would have been really nice, because then I would have been able to get in without a key. So if I had any more bombs, I would probably try to take them out and see if I can get to a devil room. But now I'm in dire need of keys, which is a bummer, because I have none. Monstro, you wait until he does that thing, and then you just, again, goes back to being wherever he's not about to fire. So just kind of keep your distance, trail him around the room. There's not really any strategy to dodging the bullets that come out whenever he does his massive jump. Just be far enough away that you can watch them and hopefully get out of the way in time. If you get through the boss fight without being hit, that also increases the likelihood of a devil room, which, as I've said, can be very useful. Right now, I probably wouldn't take a deal with the devil, just because I don't have a whole lot of health. Alright, damage plus speed up, both of those are good things. And I really can't do anything else. Unless, was that a spike room? I'm sorry, I forgot. Or was it a... No, I think that's a shop, actually. In the upper left-hand corner. But yeah, it's, if at all possible, try to get to try to get to the treasure room on each floor, because that is your one shot at a bonus treasure, or a bonus ability for that floor. So I honestly shouldn't have used my key on the first floor when it came to the treasure chest, but I was getting greedy. So that's what can happen if you don't follow the advice that I gave. This guy has 2 attacks, that one, which is extremely painful, and random directions. So if you can cause him to shudder for a second and do that one, then you can get to a different angle, shoot him a little bit, and try not to die. Alright, so that's one more heart piece. And some of them give you a heart as well as fill all of the hearts that you have. Some of them just give you an empty heart container. But either way, it's you know, a positive pickup without any negatives. One other fact with the cube is you can actually damage enemies with it. It's kind of tricky, but it can be done, and that can come in handy sometimes. Okay, so if I fire up, then that will explode the thing to the right, creating a bridge where I can go across and pick up the monies. If you lay a bomb directly next to a rock, sometimes it will just disintegrate the rock entirely, which is not helpful. These guys fire randomly as well as whenever they're hit. So you want to take them out before you unlock the myriad of bullets that come from these guys when you kill them. But if you stand in one of the 4 directions, just up, down, left, or right of them, then you can dodge them. Still needing keys, and at this point it's tempting. The spikes will, each time that you step on the spikes, there's a chance that it will spawn a treasure chest of some kind. And okay, I need to get him in a direct line before I let him open up. But yeah, so you just kind of find your own rhythm, I guess. That's strange. I'm curious now if there's treasure in the upper left-hand corner that I can blow up. This room is not giving me a lot of maneuverability, which I really don't like or appreciate. But it worked. And then that's a heart that I could potentially use if I pick up. That was close. If you pick up the thorn room or whatever, and then you have health waiting somewhere else, then it can be kind of a free thing, and that's always useful. The 2 different types of these enemies are these guys that fire in all kinds of directions, and then the ones that actually fire at you. I find these to be a lot less dangerous because they're not actually trying to hit you, it's just they have this set pattern. It's also a lot more likely that their shots will be blocked. Alright, so now we have this key, so we'll wander down in the general direction of the treasure room and see what we can find. You can also listen for audio clues for when saw that coming, couldn't do anything about it. So yeah, there's my little block taking care of me. But yeah, at the end of a room, whatever drops, you'll be able to hear, and so that can be a very useful thing to let you know. You know, if you hear a heart drop, you don't necessarily have to go back, because there are some factors, situations in which you will want to you'll want to go for speed instead of accuracy. TWIOCH means that any enemy that touches me, I don't remember if it's a guarantee or it has a chance to turn into a turd. Because, yes. Right now, I'm doing pretty well on health. I don't... The ladder will... It operates the same as in Legend of Zelda, the first one. And so it will allow me to go across one step gaps. Right now, I'm not going to. Donation machine is something that you slowly build up over time as you play and work through. It's one of the few things that carries over from run to run, and so you can build it and increase the. I might not be able to talk during this boss because I don't really have a whole lot of. But yeah, there's another situation where facing him won't block the purple ones, but it will block the, oh, maybe it will. Oh, learned something new. But it will block the red ones. So if he just wants to throw those at me, then I will just sit here and shoot him in the face. Alright, sweet. So we have a potential deal with the devil, and we have 5 hearts with which to deal. And sometimes he just gives you red things. Collect these or deal with them one at a time, because there's a possibility that it will teleport you, and if that's the case, then you might not be able to get back to the devil room. So all in all, we got 1 eternal heart. And if you'll notice, the door to the devil room is now closed. So I think I'll stay away from the spike room for now. But yeah, the door to the devil room is now closed. So if one of those had teleported me away, I would not have been able to open any future chests, nor to pick up what had already dropped. So that's why you work on. Oh, this is handy. First off, up in the upper right corner, you see Super Meat Boy, which this is by the same developer, and you can give coins, keys, and hearts to these characters for an opportunity at prizes. And I will use this to show you a fun fact that you can do, is if you hit the blood donation machine and the guy at the same time, then you can use the momentary invincibility to kind of double up on what you've got. So, and you can do the same thing here with, you can hit him and only take, well, I thought you could only take 1 piece of damage. Okay, apparently I've just been hurting myself for no reason. But yeah, if you have 10 or more coins, I highly recommend going after these guys because they can drop HP up, which is extremely useful. Unless you have a bunch of keys, I wouldn't mess with the key beggar, just because they're so incredibly useful. The keys, not the beggars. The beggars aren't useful, which is a horrible statement to make in any other context, but yeah. So we've still got a decent amount of money. And with these guys, I can shoot them with relative safety as long as I move slowly because I've got the infamy protecting me from the front. The room to my right is called the curse room, and I'm gonna try bombing this wall just to see if I can get in there without hurting myself, because that's convenient. But yeah, so these guys you'll generally want to take on one at a time because they drop the spiders, and spiders are not your friend. Well, most of the spiders aren't. You can get blue spiders, which are your friend, Cursed Skull. I'm actually going to look that up real quick because I think that's useful, but I don't remember for sure. For certain? And I apologize for the dead air, but this will be the most useful to you. Okay, that's a rebirth item. When you take damage while on half a heart, you are teleported back to the previous room. Not terribly useful, but it can give you, you know, one extra shot if you go up against a boss or something, and you have very low health, but you have health waiting outside maybe. Then it might give you one more shot at a boss that you would not otherwise be able to take on. And this is one situation where it's really good to have infamy, but if you're off by the slightest amount, yeah. So I tend to dodge stuff anyway. So yeah, and feel free to ask any questions. I will answer them if I can. I have pretty extensive... Yeah, so they turn into turds when they hit you. Theoretically, at least, they, after that, have a chance to drop something. Be careful killing these slow walking guys, because they have the potential to hold a skeleton within them, and skeletons are very not fun enemies. So if you can leave them alive for a little bit, probably best to go ahead and do that. Alright. This is kind of a mini boss stage. If you shoot him in the middle, there's a chance that you will open him up to where he'll be two bosses. And that's problematic. So if you can, try to shoot him directly in the head or the tail. I say him. It doesn't appear to have a gender. But yeah, if you can get a good couple of shots at him well, he's just in a fairly straight line. That's the best way to take him. A couple of hearts are good. And his pattern revolves somewhat around where turds are in the room. But I have not been able to figure out the pattern well enough to be reliable. So, yeah. Okay, I was thinking about bombing that room on the off chance that I might be able to access something cool. So in this situation, I need to bomb here in order to get it knocked down and build a bridge, because it'll explode up to 2 places away. Alright, magnet will attract things to me, which is really handy, and I could have saved myself a bomb if I had waited, because if it's possible for you to use it, those items will be attracted to keys and what have you, so you can save yourself bombs and trouble by just waiting around for things. And I actually have been doing poorly at watching for, there are rocks that are a slightly different color, and those can drop things. They're very difficult to notice. I think you'll see that whenever we do find one. But see, if you notice, the heart is no longer useful to me, so it's not going towards me. Standard price for the big, like, super useful items are 15 standard. They could be 7 if they're half price, if they're on sale. This is the big blue fly, and so if you'll notice, the size of my cube has increased substantially, and any other friends that I have will also increase in size. These are the skeletons that I was talking about earlier. They can fire at you in just about any direction, and so you just kind of have to keep moving to stay out of their line of fire, which I did poorly there. Alright, so this floor is explored. We're on caves 2. Okay, I'm actually going to go back and drop some coins on the coin beggar and do that before we jump into the next room. Just see if I can get one more heart, because oh, I already blew him up. Okay, well in that case, because I'm not using my 1 key on this guy, nor am I spending any more health. So blow them up, get some piercing stuff, and I would rather have that than the cursed possible upgrade, or not possible, but the chance to respawn whenever I die. Yes, I find this much more useful because it means that your tears will go through things, or have a chance to go through things, I guess. It's funny, I thought that was a constant. He has 3 attacks, one where he charges, one where he does that. So you've seen his 3 attacks now, and whenever you encounter this guy, do yourself a favor and take out one of them at a time, as best you can. Something that I am not doing well at all. So, obviously no Satan room for me today. Infested friend, he will keep 1 fly hanging out with you until that fly goes out and damages something. And I don't know if the increased size actually increases the damage of the flies, but their damage is related to yours. So the more I increase my damage, the more the fly damage will be increased. And it's also possibly increased by its increased size, which would be fun. So yeah, this, it can save you a considerable amount of things. I want to try... I'm gonna wait. I might come back and do that later. These guys have to be hit in the back of the head, which is difficult, but I have piercing shots as well as my little fly buddies there that are going to keep going after him. Okay, now we have a couple of extra, because it'll take 3 bombs to get that chest open, because you have to bomb the chest itself as well as the rocks to get there. But usually they contain pretty decent items. I do like the fly hive. Once per room you can do that, and it drops flies, which will then go into the next room and do stuff for you. So yeah, if you'll notice, the flies are doing a particularly good job of helping me out. Monstro 2 has 2 additional attacks to the regular Monstro, one of which is the giant beam of energy, the other of which is dropping those guys. So if you can get him to do that, then you can damage him, because it takes him a while to actually fire it off. Particularly with the flies going around, it's just a good thing for me to get him to do. Whoa, that was interesting. I didn't realize he would do that if I wasn't in the line of fire. But yeah, so I came into this room before going anywhere else because I wanted to get the Devil's Room if I can, and if you're damaged, then it decreases the chance of a Devil's Room. range up. Obviously that's on the tiers, so that now they go about 3/4 of the way across the room. Pentagram is a damage increase, which, you know, best defense is a good offense and all that. And then the Ghost Baby thing is Spectral Buddy. Familiar, which follows Isaac and shoots spectral tiers that do 3.5 damage. I'm not really a big fan of him because it's hard to aim a follower behind you, but I do love some damage up, and I'm willing to sacrifice a heart to get it. So, now that we have that and we've made our deal, then we continue exploring the floor. We're doing well on health. I'll probably end up using the curse room, but I'll wait until I've used my spectral, sorry, my eternal tier. Heart, not tier. Yeah. Well, that was not clever at all. I'm not doing that well in this room. But hey, I'm ready for that cursed room. Yeah, this is another situation where the flies are quite useful because you can hide behind things and just kind of send the flies in that general direction. Alright, 2 of spades. It doubles, I believe, there's 2 of hearts, 2 of spades, 2 of diamonds and clubs. And I think this one will double my, yeah, keys, sorry. So now it looks like I wasn't even aware. So, yeah, I've got a pretty good halo of flies following me, which will be useful. Yeah, rooms like that just much easier with, you know, flies than actually having to fight them. Oh, didn't realize there was a room beneath that. My bad. But yeah, enemies like this are so much easier with a little help from my friends. Alright, there's a challenge room. It'll open only if you have full health, and after you pick up the chest in the middle of the room, then 3 rounds of enemies will spawn, and you have to kill them to advance. There's a possibility of an item drop at the end as well. And these guys, whenever they see you, they will chase you. You will notice that they're going a little bit faster, and they'll go all the way until they hit a wall. So yeah, that can be useful as well. Again, with the big room and not enough room to move. These guys spit out flies whenever you damage them, and when you finish them off, then they drop a big bomb thing. Which, not my favorite. Okay, coming down here. Should be able to take him out before he hits. But yeah, due to the semi-intelligent nature of the flies, they can be an incredibly useful asset. Because you don't obviously have to aim them, it's just unleash them and let them do their work. Blue map right there is will reveal the entire floor, including the secret room, which I've told you how to find, and the super secret room, which I very rarely find. So if you look at the map now, you can see where I need to bomb to get to special rooms. Pills are a favorite of mine. Another statement that should be taken only in context. But yeah, so now that I can see this floor and all other floors in the future, then it will be much... There's a good chance that I'll be able to find some really fun stuff. And they can also save you keys if you use bombs instead. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and come up here to this one, see what we have. blow him up to increase my chance at a devil room in the future. Money and keys, always fun. If you'll notice, I didn't actually blow him up. I don't really want to use a bomb yet. Yeah, especially now that I have access to any rooms that I can find. That's not helpful. But it could be in the right situation. Well, actually. That's Guppy's collar. Which, if you'll notice, the X1, maybe? That indicates that whenever I die, then there's a possibility of being resurrected outside in the next room. Not a guarantee, but I think it's a 50% chance, I want to say. So that can be fun. Alright, almost all of those are good, but there are a few that are not. So I'm going to check that one before I pop it open. Gemini. Yes, this is another friend that will go out on his own. He only has a certain range, but he will go out and try to find enemies to destroy for me, which I think is quite nice of him. And because we have all those hearts just waiting for us, we might as well go over the spikes a couple of times. Alright, so we get a couple of keys at virtually zero cost. Take me a little bit of time to get the hearts, but that's not really a big deal. So yeah, there's some tips, and I'll try to think of more as we go through. But yeah, the super secret room, if you encounter an item that gives you, just ridiculous numbers of bombs or something, it might be worth looking for the secret room in the room or two leading up to the boss. Yeah. This is also okay. So if you'll notice, the room to my left and down one will be a secret room, which means that I can use 2 bombs instead of going through the guaranteed damage door right there. So yeah, so I can bomb here. Go in and check out the secret room, as well as bomb here, and have access to the whatever's in here, which is convenient. If you can use 1 bomb to get all of these, that's best, because it has a chance of dropping an eternal heart. Get away from me. Eternal heart, which is the little gray ones. The black ones are called evil hearts, and they actually whenever they go off, they have the damage effect on the room as a whole. The eternal hearts are just extra health. Crystal ball, see my future. Forget how that works. Okay, so random tarot card, mystic rune, or soul heart. So not eternal heart, soul heart. I'm just going to go ahead and use it, and then go back to this one because I just really like the damage from the flies, especially with the size increase. But that does make it a little bit easier to look around, see where I need to go, because now that I've got the treasure, I want to go ahead and go for the boss. Because, and I think this is the thing that I've been trying to say for a while. When you encounter the boss, okay, so here's a situation where you can hide behind the poop, take no damage, and just wait for them all to die. So yeah, situations where you can, okay. Yeah, that was my bad. But I can use this to blow up the hole and see what can be found. But yeah, the more damage you take on a floor, the less likely that you will find the less likely that you'll find a deal with the devil room at the end. Alright, well, that went well. The guy that's spitting out the flies, he will maintain one fly, but only as long as you fire. So if you fire, that's why I'm firing in another direction while all that's going on. Oh, bloody hell. Alright, so this is Mom. And that was a happy coincidence. Whenever you hear that, then that means that the foot's coming down soon. I highly recommend that you stay somewhere far enough away that I don't remember what I was saying. But when the foot's about to come down, find a safe place. If you have the bombs, clear out this room, because the more mobility you have, the easier it is. And something that I entirely forgot is that once you enter Mom's room, then you can't get out. So I no longer get to explore the rest of this, find out what's in the shop, that kind of thing, which I am kind of bummed about. But hey, stuff happens, and you can learn from my mistakes. Yeah. So now we go to the womb. Damage increases. However, since I have the wafer, that will not be the case for me. I will continue to take 1 heart of damage, or a half a heart of damage each time, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. Whenever you kill these guys, you can only kill half of them. You can kill either the bottom or the top half, and then what kind of enemy spawns after that is dependent on which half you killed. But yeah, using my front-facing invincibility to stay away from those guys. Yeah, the guys will come after you in a typically in a line, and then oh goodness, that was a lot of accidental damage done super quick. So that did not actually work particularly well for me, but hey, just about everybody died. This is Loki, no relation to my cat. And so you just kind of stay near him and see if you can blow up his bomb when it's close to him, is one of the best strategies. Yeah, not particularly difficult. This guy is kind of like a Dodongo, in that bombs are the best way to defeat him. But he's unlike a Dodongo in that bombs are not the only way to defeat him. But if you can lay one in front of him, he will swallow it and become very uncomfortable. I'm going to move up to the Isaac's Fork, because that means that hearts are more likely to drop from defeated enemies, which, always happy. And the Spectral Tears were only a chance, and I have a lot of damage right now that goes through walls anyway. So now it's time to take all the pills. The pills are randomized at the beginning of each Isaac run, and so just because you see one, just because the orange pills are this time, are you a wizard, which makes my shots go like that, and I don't really care for it. It'll wear off after a while, but each time when you use a pill, you find out what it is, and then once when you continue that run, then that will continue to be that item. That's why sometimes you'll see the name of the pill pop up at the bottom. So yeah, coins and key and money. Alright, this is another situation. We're gonna get to use a bomb again to skip the curse door and just hop in, take what we like. Oh, there we go. There's a possibility that it'll take you here. That's the Brimstone friend. Very, very powerful. Difficult to aim. Not one of my favorites. I'm gonna pass on that one. Notice that during that part I also didn't show up on the map because it's not a described location. The devil could be anywhere, man. Okay, so we have the Bible, which is awesome because it kills both Mom and Mom's heart instantaneously, just with no reason to not use that. What the? Oh, I think I hit the bomb button instead. So I'm gonna hang on to this so that I can use it. Each floor or each room rather, it charges by one. And so once I've cleared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms, then I will be able to alright, that randomizes the number on the die determines what gets randomized. So that particular one randomized what was on the floor. Some of them can randomize all of your pickups, which if you're having kind of a crappy run, not having much luck, that can be very useful. That's an Eternal Heart. So if you carry half of an Eternal Heart to the end of a level, then at the beginning of the next level, you get to have get a heart upgrade. Alright, so I already got... Did I already get the treasure in this room? Let me know how stupid I am and forgetful in the comments. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep exploring because I already visited the Devil Room, and so there's not really any point in visiting him again. Those are the lightning guys. You'll also see them in the Mom's Heart boss fight. But yeah, they just occasionally shoot homing lasers. And okay, so there wasn't really anything else to find here. So I just wasted time. Mine and yours. For that I apologize. So I'm not going to be able to finish off another heart. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Bible. Carry that with me. Temporary flight is sometimes useful, less on this run because I have the magnet to bring things to me, but if there's an unattainable item, then that can be extremely useful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go fight the boss, and then come back, pick up the Eternal Heart, and then carry it to the next floor to get the heart upgrade. So yeah, the scythes will hang out for a minute and then go after you. But yeah, so like it's really useful to have friends. I think he has one more phase. I guess not. But yeah, so that's that enemy. That boss fight. And okay, so here I will upgrade my cube. And now it's happy. If I get one more, it becomes an autonomous creature that goes around me, much like my little tethered friend there. And but without a range restriction. So now I take this, carry it to the next level, and when I hit the next level, then you'll see the two hearts become one. And then I get the upgrade. So we'll check out this. It doesn't matter which one you hit. It's always going to be a 1 in 3 chance. Curses, I really wanted that one. So usually I give him one shot to be nice to me, and then I blow him up because I really don't like him. I'm gonna go ahead and spend down to 15 here, because there's a possibility of a pretty fly, which is another rotating friend, and that can be really useful. But I'm gonna hold on to 15 because if I encounter the store here, then I want to be able to buy the good stuff, man. Yeah, he couldn't see me, so that was not dangerous. Okay, so to kill this guy, I need to put him on the... He echoes me. I need to put him on the spikes, which puts the guy to sleep up there. This up above me is a different kind of challenge room, and this one only opens if you have 1 heart or less, which... yeah, that's fun. Okay, so there's 99 bombs, which I probably won't really get a chance to use, but I can go ahead and blow you up. But yeah, that can be extremely useful, especially if you're looking for secret rooms and such. But obviously I'm not doing that. Alright, so if you kill the bottom part, then I guess sometimes, then the top part will become an autonomous head. I'm really tempted. I want to know what that is. Oh, that's a wiggly waggly shot, which not really my favorite, so I'm gonna pass. But if you see an item on spikes like this, one thing that you can do is you can lay a bomb and propel it somewhere else where you can pick it up. So if hearts or whatever it is are less useful to you, then you can make a choice to sacrifice a bomb instead of health in a situation like that. If you can hurt these guys while they're on the rocks, or if there's rocks between you and them, then it's much easier to fight them and deal with their BS. Okay, so we have enough hearts, or sorry, enough coins to probably get something out of this guy. And then I'm gonna blow him up because I don't like him. He can't. I mean, if you have access to, like earlier in the run, we saw the room that had you know, just a crap ton of hearts. So if you have access to something like that, or a lot of hearts in the room, then the heart beggar can be really useful. And now I have this carrying around with me, so I could use that, and again, hit the wrong button. That is entirely on me. But the wafer reduced it to half a heart damage, so that was useful. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this all kind of go as it may. Luck of the draw increases the odds that that cards will drop. Sorry, I forgot to explain this. Faith Tract increases the chance of the little of various heart drops. So yeah. So we're coming up on a little bit closer to the end. But yeah, if you take out the base, then they become one enemy. If you take out the head, they become a different enemy. So whichever one you prefer facing, then, you know, you have options. That's cancer. Yay, cancer. I forget what it does, but I always found that name amusing. Tears up, and it also breaks the normal fire rate, which allows you to fire faster than your maximum. So tear rate. And tear rate. I'm actually gonna go... No. I want bowel cancer. Alright. Alright, the Hierophant is... Well, actually, let's go ahead and do Judgment first. So, spawns a beggar or a gambling machine. And then Hierophant is hearts, eternal hearts, or soul hearts, or whatever it was that I called them a minute ago. So yeah, let's finish this guy off. Keep checking rooms. What floor is this? Hero 2. Okay, so this is actually going to be the last round probably of this. Or the last floor of this run, because I'll walk in and get an insta-gib on Mom's heart with the Bible, which is just fun. Not just fun, it also is kind of a relief if you've got, you know, a pretty decent run going and you can just walk in and stop Mom's heart. Yeah. That's really handy. So we'll go ahead and spend all our money on you, just for funsies, see what you drop. And yeah, in future runs, let me know what you find. Yeah, that's funny, but really not that great. One interesting fact about this one though is that it only requires one room charge, so you can use it once per room, and I think it poisons enemies. So, Mom's Heart, you saw how difficult this was before, but I can just do that, and I'm done. The Halo is from killing Mom's Heart with the Bible, and so the Halo is something that ups all of your stats. So that's a very cool thing to have unlocked. And if you can see here, speed is increased by flying, and then I would be able to get over chasms and gaps and such instead as well. So tune in next time. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any other things that are eluding you as far as the nuances of this game. But hopefully, what I've given you here is enough that you can do better on your next run. So, signing off for this week in our collective heads games. Rubber cement. Alright, and then that makes sure your tear's explosive or something. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for this run, and I'll check this one last item, and then let you get back to whatever it was you were doing before. Hopefully something less awful. Yeah, bouncing tears, so that's fun.